What's up? Welcome back. Thanks for clicking on this video. I'm John Stark from MacMovieGuy.com. I'm a blind film critic, and I'm starting to expand my reach a little bit, even though I don't have that many subscribers. So to do that, I'm going to start reviewing more content across more services, even if those services don't care and don't want me to. So this is Mr. Saturday Night, which is currently available on Broadway HD. This is the stage musical adaptation, which I didn't even know they had filmed until I was doing my Emmy predictions and I saw that Billy Crystal was eligible for lead actor in a limited series or a movie. And I was like, what? Did they film this and I missed out on it? And they did. And it's fantastic. And we're going to talk about it. It does not have audio description. Broadway HD does not currently support audio description, which is sort of a missed opportunity for them, considering the fact that most live Broadway shows have audio description. Like, audio description is something that's permeating live theater more and more. So they could just take the audio description that's being created for the live shows and just put it into this and then release it. I think there's an assumption that blind people, we just sit in a corner and we like knit. We just take like two things of yarn and we just do that thing which you always see like old ladies doing in movies, or we just knit yarn, and that's what we do till we die. We just do this. That's what we do over and over. I was trying to find a Blu-ray player that I've constantly been in search for an actual, not a computer. I was like, just put it in your computer. No, I want an actual Blu-ray player that hooks up to I don't want to hook my laptop up to my TV all the damn time. I want to have a stagnant Blu-ray player I can just leave there that has an audio guide on it. So I was trying to find that. I was searching online and I found this thread on a home theater forum where this guy was trying to help his friend. And he was like, yeah, I had this friend, he really likes these old movies. He's got all these old DVDs that he can watch. He just likes listening to them. The guy didn't even talk about audio description. But he was like, he needs something that he can navigate through the menus of, like a player that he can navigate through the menus. Is there any way that, that we can make that happen? Because some DVDs, they just kind of start into different things. They're all different, And there's this dude, this bro that just comes in and he's like, I don't understand why blind people watch movies. Like, what possibly could they get out of that experience? And I was like, oh, this is why I'm here. This is why I'm on this channel. This is why I have the channel. This is what I'm doing. It's because there are people like that out there that think we don't watch movies at all. I want to know what that guy thinks we do. Like, what is it? Yeah, dude. I could see all the way up until, and then I just threw away everything that I liked and just went and sat in a corner and stared at it. I thought I was staring in the corner. Maybe I wasn't even staring in the corner. I don't know. I'm blind. You tell me. Why don't you tell me, able-bodied person? So, I'm going to go after all the smallest streamers. I'm starting with Broadway HD because they absolutely have every ability to have audio description on their programs because they have audio description for live theater. Cool, huh? Isn't that cool? So let's go into Mr. Saturday Night with Billy Crystal. That was like the longest lead-in ever. But if you're here for me, you're here for me. If you're not, you're not. That's cool. Yeah, it's a musical version. I didn't see the movie of Mr. Saturday Night. I still have not seen the movie. It was released in 1992, so to defend that, I was 9 when the movie came out, so I don't think it was a kid's movie. And I just never caught up on it. You don't catch up on everything. Like, there are film critics out there that are still trying to catch up on films. So that's the thing about being younger, is that there's all of these years worth of films to try to catch up on, and some of them are hard to find and they're out of print, and maybe they're not on streaming services, maybe there's no digital version of them, so it's just always hard to catch up on things, and you don't really know what to catch up on, and there's some things you'd rather catch up on than other things. So Mr. Saturday Night just slipped my mind. I didn't realize it was going to be turned into a musical. My bad. Um, so Billy Crystal plays Buddy, um, who is one half of this brother duo that they kind of have this shtick that they do together where they're sort of entertaining, but it feels almost vaudevillian, if I'm honest. Like, it doesn't feel like it's sort of like they have jokes, but it kind of feels like it's coming back out of those the days when people used to have acts. You know what I'm saying? Like, they weren't necessarily a stand-up comedian, but they had acts and they were funny. But Burns and Allen would be like a great comparison to that, I think. But there are others that feel like there's this thing that they're doing. It's just shtick, you know, and Buddy wants to, you know, be more. He wants to be more. He doesn't really know what more is, but he wants more. He has plans. He's seen other people. He wants more for himself. And his brother, who's played by David Paymer, I did not know Billy Crystal and David Paymer could sing at all. I didn't know that. They're not bad. I don't think they're going to chop through the ranks here of being some of the greatest Broadway singers of all time, but the music that's written for them in Mr. Saturday Night is definitely written in their elements. So good for them. I love they have a good rapport back and forth. They're funny. I don't know how this show could work without Billy Crystal. I really don't. Because once you lose the key actor, you lose the magic, and somebody else is supposed to pick up and run with it. And for an unknown actor to try to be Billy Crystal, which is essentially what this is, there are so many jokes in this, that you never quite get a feel that this could be anybody but Billy Crystal. It feels so tailor-made to Billy Crystal that I don't know what, like, a regional theater community production. I would be terrified to go see this at a community theater level. I'd be like, there's no way this can possibly be good. No one can do this performance. This was basically a star vehicle written for Billy Crystal that can be performed one time on Broadway, and that's it, ever. It can never be performed again. Because it feels like he's improvising the whole time. It just flows so naturally from Billy the whole time when he's playing Buddy that it just takes over the show. He flows so, effortlessly from his comedy into a song. And he's got some great people around him that play sort of his family. Plus there's this girl that wants to be his agent. It reminds me very much of Maisel. There's a girl that is not necessarily known for being an agent that kind of comes out of nowhere and is like, let me be your agent. And I'm like, okay, I feel like I've seen this before. But then again, if this was the original plot of Mr. Saturday Night, it came in 1992. It came way before Mrs. Maisel did. So maybe this is the original Maisel. Maybe Maisel ripped off Mr. Saturday Night. I don't know, because I didn't see the original film, so I can't really attest to the plot here and say which came first, the chicken or the egg. I don't know. I don't know which came first, but it feels very Maisel. So if you're a big fan of Maisel, you'll be a big fan of Mr. Saturday Night, because this is pretty damn close. And they had to do a lot to change the story because it's still Billy Crystal. And he was in the movie, except now he's 75. So there are a lot more references to his age, to him being old. He does like a diaper commercial at one point. So Yeah, I feel like stuff that he would not have done 30 years ago, when he's 45, 44, technically, I guess, in 1992. He just wouldn't have been making those jokes. So, um, it's interesting. He has a lovely actress who plays his wife. His daughter has some really good moments, especially towards the end. She gets to come in towards the end and really hit you in the gut, and she hits, she gets Billy in the gut. She gets the audience in the gut. The daughter ends up being kind of the emotional um, gift wrap for the show. I'll say that she kind of wraps everything up together, brings it all in, because you're kind of like, I don't know where this is going. I don't know where we end. Like, I don't know where. And then the daughter comes in, and you see where the show's kind of starting to head, and you get where it's going to go to the end. So, eventually, yeah, it ends rather nicely. That finale musical number goes on for a while. It's not, some shows have one big boisterous musical number that they end on. This one kind of ends on, it's a little bit like a 10-minute long musical number that wraps up sort of the whole story. It just kind of goes on for a while, and it has these little breaks, and it cuts into sort of like these sort of like, where will we be when this story ends moments. Otherwise, the musical is just sort of the rise of Buddy, and how that affects the people around him and the relationships around him, and what is it that he wants from his career, because he doesn't want to do everything that's being thrown his way. Some of it he does hilariously bad, and it's great to watch. The music here is average, I would say, for a musical. I wasn't consistently blown away by every single song, but there are some very memorable songs in here. I would say generally the film, the show works best when it allows the characters to be funny, because that's what the musical is. However, some of the more dramatic numbers work, but they are using more stereotypical Broadway talent, both better voices in the female cast. So those songs sound better. So for traditionalists who are looking for that sound, you're going to get that out of the female cast when they have their musical numbers. The three main characters that I already listed have musical numbers that feel like they fell out of any show. They sound like they fell out of any show, that they could be in any show. And then you've got Crystal and Paymer, whose stuff is a little bit more shtick. Crystal has this number where he got the audience to sing along, and it's nonsense. He's just saying kind of like nonsensical words, and it's a call and repeat thing, and the audience repeated back. Good for them. Yeah, it's amazing how much energy he brings to this at 75. Good for him. It's a tour de force performance from Billy Crystal. Honestly, I don't think he won the Tony. I don't know who did his year. I didn't look that up, but I'm gonna say he probably deserved it. Without knowing who won and being able to see their performance, I'm gonna be like, whoever beat him must have been amazing, because this show hinges on Billy Crystal. It cannot exist without him. I cannot imagine what this show would be like on any other level. I can't tour without Billy Crystal. It cannot be performed regionally or community. I can't see anybody doing this. You'd have to find, because the theaters, they don't search for, I work in theater, I know how to do this. You would never find somebody who's at Crystal's level without actually searching for and trying to post and get somebody maybe who's a stand-up comic who can also sing. You actually have to look outside your typical Broadway talent, because there are a lot of people who I think are endlessly entertaining and who've been really funny in some stuff, and I wouldn't trust them in this role. Ben Platt's done some comedy before. He would die in this role. Norbert Leo Butz would die in this role. There's so many people that would be defeated by Crystal's just constant ribbing. It's just, it never stops. And it's one of the reasons why this is actually entertaining enough that I'm not going to say it's unwatchable. However, I will discuss what's missing. I have no idea what's in the set. None. No idea at all. I basically was listening. It was basically like listening to the soundtrack to the thing. Like if somebody had recorded the entire musical, and I was just listening to, instead of being able to listen to what's released on the soundtrack, which is just song, I actually got what was in between the songs. I got the dialogue and the moments and the scenes. I got the whole thing instead of just the songs. That's the only difference. I have no idea what the set looks like. None. I don't know where we are. I don't know how elaborate it is. I don't know if they're backup dancers. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many things that I don't know how many people are on stage during certain numbers. There's a whole bunch of that theatrical experience that's missing. I can kind of guess based on the time period what their costumes would look like. But it would still be nice to know, have some sort of an idea. I think audio description for this would be hard. It's not impossible. There's audio description in Hamilton, and they basically never stop rapping. So it would not. Even the audio description as in existence would very likely not give me everything, and it's because Billy Crystal never lets a moment sit. So the only moments that you get to sit are coming out of generally like other people's songs, when it's like a more dramatic moment, and they want the audience, they don't want to pull you right back into a joke. They want you to hear what the character just had to say. And then you have kind of a beat, which is a moment to kind of come in and tell us where we're at, you know? But Crystal, whenever he's on stage, he really is, he's relentless in his performance. So it would be really hard to not talk on top of him. But I think it's possible, and I think Broadway HD should look into audio description. So, cool. How about that? See, look at me. This is how we advocate. Is we start talking about other things. So I'm opening up a little bit. I did a Tubi review earlier. And now I've got Broadway HD, and we're just gonna keep expanding. So, I am gonna grade this because I enjoyed it. There's a lot as a theater person, as a person who works in theater, as my getting paid. I work in music theater, so this does not pay me. That would be nice, but the reason I'm able to do this is because of music theater. So I'm gonna give this an A-. I was pleasantly surprised. There are some songs for me that I just kind of felt like I'm not gonna remember that song, but other than that, I thought it was a great experience. And Billy Crystal was just over the top, way better than I expected him to be. So at 75 in a musical. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. And hopefully you enjoyed this. I probably brought in some Broadway people who were like, what is going on here? I'm blind, and I review things that have audio description, and I review things that don't have audio description and explain why they should have audio description, because blind people like to watch things. So just in case you didn't catch up on that, that's what I do. I would love it if you could subscribe, because the more subscribers I have, the wider my reach is. And the better chance that somebody from Broadway HD would actually watch this and think to themselves, audio description. Why don't we do that? Maybe we should. Anyway, thanks for watching. I do have a website, macmoovieguy.com. You can follow me on Twitter, Insta, and Threads at MacTheMovieGuy. I'm on Threads now. I don't really know what to do on Threads, but I'm there. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org. It'll let you know about this audio description and where you can watch it. And you can go to the ADNA.org, which tells you who's narrating what. Also, the audio description project has a whole lot of things on there about audio description, including audio description regarding live theater and like how that works, and just a whole bunch of things about, do you want to become a narrator? Do you want to work in audio description? If you're listening and you work for BroadwayHD and you decide you want to start providing audio description, there's ways for you to contact the ADP and let them know what titles you offer that have audio description. So, yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I will review something else. The next one won't be from BroadwayHD right away, but I will start rotating these more frequently into my list. And I'll see you guys on the other side.